We have taken the case of glass rod rubbed with silk. If glass rod becomes positively charged, the silk will become equally negatively charged. So if earlier the net charge of glass rod and silk was 0, after rubbing also the net charge of the glass rod and silk combination will be 0. Although there will be transfer of electric charge from glass rod to some of electrons from glass rod to silk. Similarly, if we look at this reaction NaCl, sodium chloride, and it breaks into sodium ion and chloride ion. So the NaCl molecule was earlier neutral, and even after that, if you look at plus E and minus E, the net charge is again 0. Similarly, let's talk of this reaction of nuclear fission. So uranium 92 and 235 is bombarded with a slow moving neutron, and as a result what we get is the nuclear breaks, and in this chemical reaction we have seen the charge is conserved. Now I am coming to a nuclear reaction. So in nuclear reaction we are receiving barium, which is 56,141, plus krypton, which is 36 and 92, and then 3 fast moving neutrons and energy. So this is the nuclear reaction, nuclear fission reaction, and in that, if you are looking for the total positive charge, plus 92E, this is the total positive charge. Total negative charge is also minus 92E. Atomic number is 92. And here, if you add 56 plus 36, E is the positive charge. So it is again plus 92E. And same will be the negative charge, 92E. So the total charge again remain conserved during this nuclear reaction also. So we talked of a chemical reaction and a nuclear reaction. Similarly, let's talk about some more reactions, like this is pair production. So pair production reaction is about a gamma ray photon. A gamma ray photon which has no charge, no mass, is broken into an electron and a positron. So it is broken into an electron and a positron. If I say what is the net charge before? 0. And what is the net charge afterward? 0. Similarly, in another reverse reaction, we call it annihilation of matter. In that reverse reaction, which is annihilation of electron and a positron, they combine to get a gamma ray photon. So here an electron and a positron, they are combining to become a gamma ray photon. In fact, 2 gamma ray photons. So in that process also, the total charge, the net charge remain conserved. So here in each cases you have seen whether it is a chemical reaction or a frictional electricity or a nuclear reaction, or even when the mass is converted into energy or energy is converting into mass, in all processes the net charge remain conserved. So this is conservation of electric charge is conserved. Another is accelerated charge radiate energy. This is very important property. You see, if you are just having a charge, a body which is charged, it will provide only electric field. So a charge at rest will provide electric field. On the other hand, if you have a charge which is moving at a constant speed, say V, it will provide electric field as well as magnetic field. A current carrying wire has a magnetic field around it. So charge in motion is like current flowing. So current is flowing, and whenever the current flows in a wire, it produces magnetic field. So charge in motion, if the charge is moving at a constant speed, it will provide electric as well as magnetic field. This electric field exists. But then if a charge is accelerated, in that case, it provides variable electric and magnetic field. It means it provides electric field, it provides magnetic field, and also it produces electromagnetic waves, it produces radiations. So an accelerated charge, if a charge is accelerating, then it provides electric field, it provides magnetic field, as well as it provides electromagnetic wave, it provides radiation. So this is how we are saying accelerated charge radiates energy. So this is another property of electric charge which we should keep in mind. And now, charge on a conductor. This is seventh property. So the fact is that on an insulator, if you are having an insulator, say plastic comb, say rubber, say glass, say silk, they are all insulator. Say rubber, rubber shoe, rubber rod, ebonite rod. If you can recall all those examples we have taken in the beginning, they are all insulator. On an insulator, the charge which is developed anywhere remain there. So on an insulator, charge doesn't flow. Charge, wherever you develop, it will remain there, and that's why it is observable. For example, this is rubber and I rub it on my hairs, it will get electrically charged. But it is not an insulator, so charge, wherever it is developed, it will remain there. But on the other hand, if you are talking of a conductor, on a conductor, the charge will not remain inside. It will, wherever you develop, it will always come on the surface. So we cannot have a charge on a conductor stable. You develop it anywhere, you rub, for example, this is the conductor side, aluminium, and I rub it. I can rub it as much, doesn't matter. I will not find it, attracting piece of paper because it's a conductor. So any charge which is developed at one edge, it will spread all over. So it will not have an effective, outcome to be able to attract a piece of paper or to show the charging. Where on a rubber, if I take a small portion, if I take an insulator, I rub it, then the charge will remain there only. So there will be good amount of charge at a point, and which will show its impact. So I can observe the presence of electric charge. Where on a conductor, the charge will move and it will spread equally all over. And inside a conductor, charge won't reside. The charge will always come on the surface. And there is one more point, and that is, if you have a conductor of this shape, the charge will be uniform. But in case if you have a conductor of this shape, the charge will not be uniform. There will be more charge density at the sharp point, and there will be less charge density at these. So we can say, as a whole, in the beginning, I would say the charge density, charge per unit area is inversely proportional to the radius. So over here, if it has got a more radius, higher radius, its charge density will be less, and here it has got a smaller radius. At sharp point, there will be more charge density in a conductor also. We will be able to prove it later. So this is one of the property, and then it's about charge distribution, analytical view of distribution of charge. And that is, one way I can have discrete charge distribution. In discrete distribution of charge, I will have a charge here Q1, another charge here Q2, another charge here Q3. They may have a value plus, minus, whatever, Q4. That is discrete distribution of charge. But then I have continuous distribution of charge. In continuous distribution of charge, again, there are three possibilities. One is line charge distribution, one is surface charge distribution, and one is volume charge distribution. In line charge distribution, you will assume as though you have just a charge distributed on a conductor or insulator in the form of a line, almost no thickness. So here we'll have a linear charge density, which will be total charge divided by the whole length. In surface charge distribution, you will assume there is a whole surface on which the charge is distributed. Here you will call it charge density. Charge density, surface charge density, it is linear charge density represented by lambda. So this is linear charge density. But when you have a charge distributed on a surface, you represent it by charge distribution per unit area. We call it surface charge density. On other hand, you may have charge distributed in the whole volume. This is only possible in case of an insulator, charge distributed in the whole volume. So there we will represent the charge density by rho, which is charge per unit volume, and we call it volume charge density. So we have talked about different kind of distribution of charge. We may observe a discrete distribution of charge where the charges are separately placed, and or a line charge distribution on a very thin line. You have a charge distributed maybe uniformly, and surface charge distribution where in a whole area you have charge distributed. There you will calculate surface charge density, charge per unit area. Then in a whole volume you have a charge distributed, so you will calculate volume charge density, which will represent by rho, and it will be Q by V, charge per unit volume. So that's how we have talked about kind of distribution of electric charge. So let's have a comparison of the properties of electric charge and mass. I have written some points for you. Electric charge, so once you are talking of the charge, it can have a value 0, it can have a value positive, it can have a value negative. But mass is not 0, it is always positive. Mass cannot be negative, cannot be 0, it is always positive. Charge doesn't depend upon velocity. Charge is invariant. Charge is invariant, where mass is m naught by root 1 minus v square by c square. So as the speed is increased, the mass also increases. Charge is quantized, where the value of n can be 1, 2, 3, 4, so on, where the mass can have any value. Mass can have any value. So there is no quantization of the mass. Electric charge is conserved, mass is not conserved. So charge is conserved. But what about mass? Mass can be converted into energy, and energy can be converted into mass according to E is equal to mc square. The force between electric charges can be positive. If you have got two similar charge, the force will be repulsive. If you have got similar charge, the force will be repulsive. But if you have got opposite charge, the force will be attractive. But here, between two masses, the force is always, gravitational force is always attractive. Although, for a shorter distance, electric forces are much stronger than the gravitational forces. And then, a charged body always possesses some mass. But it is not so in case of mass. It is not necessary that every mass possesses some net charge. So a charged body will have some mass, but any body with having some mass, it is not necessarily having a net charge. Charge has SI unit of Coulomb and mass has SI unit of kilogram. Charge cannot exist without a mass, but mass can exist without a net charge. So these are some of the comparison of electric charge and mass.